Welcome back as we talk about the typical day of a commercial real estate agent. I'm Peter Bender from Bundaberg Commercial, and the first video in this series was essentially the first couple of hours that I have for the day, where I have a look at planning and working out and getting prepared for the actual day. So this period, I tend to do my days in blocks, and I have a look now. This session will be in regards to what I do between 8 and 10 in the morning. I like a video I watched a couple of weeks ago on another commercial agent who is actually one of the world's most famous agents, and he is in New York. It's easy to be famous in New York. If you sell something there, it's like $4.5 billion. So I'm sure that he would be a great success in the regional areas of Bundaberg and Harvey Bay where I work in, because good people tend to be good no matter what environment. But it was interesting to see. And he talks about a term of only working half days. Now, as a solopreneur, working a half a day has real appeal to me. A solopreneur is essentially someone who, just works for himself. As you can see, I am not in a high-rise multi-million dollar office. I actually work from home. So, coming to work is quite easy. I save a lot of time is the obvious practical application at the start. I tell my wife I'm going to work, and would you like me to give you a call when I get there? And I walk 20 feet. I walk into my office and I say, "Hi, honey, I'm home," or "Hi, honey, I'm at work," depending on which way I'm going. So it's a good lifestyle. The comment that he says was with his team. He's happy for them to work half days, and he's even happy for them to have a work-life balance in that, they can choose which half a day they want to work. So everyone who's green and new to the organization says, "Oh, how cool is this? Work half day, whichever way I want to go." He says, "Yes, you can work 6 to 6, or 8 to 8, or 10 to 10, whichever half day you want is what you work." And I like that. But realistically, I don't do that sort of long hours. I used to when I was in my 20s and 30s, and a lot more motivated, I suppose. Now I'm a little bit wiser. I like to think and have different options to work with. So the 8 to 10 a.m. period for me is all about regaining the day and gaining control. So the first thing that I do is I have a look at what you see on the screen, which is my sales profile, or some people call it a funnel. This and gives my daily reminder to make sure that I'm focused and doing the right things. So what you see here is some activities which I feel I need to achieve each month. And it's worked on my business and my workload and my region. So everybody's figures will be different. The main things are having enough work to come through at the top end where the contacts, so that at the end of the month you have the results you need, which is a settlement. So looking on the left-hand side, you'll see some penciled marks in there, which are what I've so far achieved for the month. And on the right-hand side is how I'm going for the week. So you can see 60 contacts is what I'm looking for in January. And yesterday, if you look over here, I had one contact. So I essentially need two contacts a day. A contact for me in my business, if you've got a lot of ads out there, quite often they'll come overnight. People will do some, after hours shopping in regards to businesses or commercial properties, and they'll send you some links. Other times during the day, it's people seeing something or picked up a referral and they'll give me a phone call. So Monday, you can see I had three contacts. Tuesday, I had two. Yesterday, I had one. All up, that's two a day. A 30-day month, including the weekends, I'm on target there. However, so that's this week's looking pretty good. However, for the month, it's a little bit low. Now, that's normal for January because we had public holidays, you've got the Christmas period, but I don't use that as an excuse for not getting the volume I need. If I don't get the volume of contacts, then next month, I'm not going to have the volume of inspections. So it's very much a pipeline. You need to keep pushing through those volumes to get the pipeline you need. So how do I increase the number of contacts if I get proactive? Well, next week I'm going to go and do some door knocking. I'm a big fan of cold calling and door knocking. I've prepared an area that I'm going to have a look at, and I'll probably hit 20 businesses, hopefully a few more, but at least that sort of bracket. I was going to do it this week. Yeah, there was would, could have, but right now it's 35 degrees. No customer wants to see a sales rep, sliding into their door, totally exhausted, covered in sweat, dripping. So next week is supposed to be a more moderate sort of weather for Queensland. So that's when we'll go out and start approaching the customers. So I'm confident by the end of January we'll have the contacts. Meetings, It's not a exercise of a ticker box. It's more about making sure that I'm on track and don't lose focus. So for me, a meeting is essentially something that will progress me towards a listing or towards an offer. You can have plenty of other meetings with existing clients. They don't count for me. You can have people just doing, look, cold calling me. That's not a meeting. I'm looking at for good solid volume. Yesterday was a good day. I had three good meetings. I had one discussion in regards to a property that will hopefully have an offer in today. I had another meeting where we're looking at a listing which should be like $4.5 million. That's a big bopper for me. We probably have three of those size clients in our portfolio. So that was a good meeting as well. Qualified. All right. Sometimes you may be ringing real estate agents and you're concerned that they don't call you back. Now, I'm not saying that's acceptable. I don't do that. I make sure that I always call my clients back, irrespective of who they are. However, my time and any other agent's time is limited. So we want to make sure that we're spending that time with appropriate people. So that's where the qualified comes in. Qualified means I want to know if you're in a position to buy. Have you got cash or have you got bank finance? If you are in that category, then that's fine. I'm happy to keep working with you. If you're not, you'll probably find that I'll answer your questions, give you some information to look at, and then tell you to go to your bank and make sure you can get finance. Too many people go looking for a business or a commercial property and then go to the bank. Think of it like going to Woolworths. When you go with your shopping trolley, you go in, you get your groceries, you get your fruit and veggies, you get your meat, you go to the checkout. You already know how you're going to pay for it. That's the philosophy people need to have when they go looking for commercial properties. Make sure you got your finance at least organized so you know what your budget is before you go shopping. So for me, it's very important to have qualified people. So I had one qualified person yesterday. It was the buyer. I know that they were actually have the cash, but are probably going to look finance. So that was a qualified one. Like for me, qualified always seems to be a bit of a difficult one to achieve. So you can see on the left-hand side, I've only had 8 qualified for the month. Now we're three-quarters of the way through the month, so I'm well behind target there. When I do my cold calling next week, I will probably pick up a handful of qualified clients. I'll find out if people are interested in selling their businesses, selling their property, looking to retire, looking to expand, looking to buy. All those sort of aspects will help me get some more qualified ticks in the box. But it looks like this month it's going to be another struggle city. I'm sorry if you expect me to be perfect and all my goals are kicked, but they're not. So with the qualified, if you haven't got qualified, then the next couple of areas start to linger a little bit. Now, I had a listing yesterday. Yay, good day for a listing. As you can see, I'm looking for two for the month, and I should have another one come through today. So my listings for the month are looking healthy three-quarters of the way through the month. Number of inspections, I'm looking for four. I had one this week. Am I going to have another one? I may have one. There's a gentleman supposed to come up from Melbourne, which will be good. If I can get two inspections in a week, then it's a good effort. I think already this month, I can't remember where the original document of that is. Inspections. I've already had two plus one this week, three. So I'm right on target in that area. Offers. All right. This is where the money hits the road. You can't get a contract without an offer, and you need to have offers. For a sale, I will typically have two two offers per client. So you're looking at two things for offers. One is a couple of offers from a client. Usually, the first offer it tends to be what we call an ambit claim. Testing the water to see if they can get a discount. And the second offer tends to be the more serious ones. So we've got so far this month, it's been a good month. We've had 5 offers. We had a big campaign over the Christmas New Year period for a laundromat, which is a hot property item. And most of those offers, from my understanding from memory, were all to do with that one business. So we're hoping that those offers will actually turn into a contract. It probably won't be this week. It may well actually be the first week of the month, but I will go and talk with the client. Contracts do take time to get organized because you need to send them off to the lawyers. I had a contract with the lawyers, and yesterday it fell over. Unfortunately, that was like 8 months worth of work. Um, not a happy moment, but it's one of the prayer points I had this morning that the buyers and sellers were able to go their own ways and continue on without too much hard feeling. They're both locals, so they're probably going to see each other because they're actually about a block away from each other. So business is always difficult at the best of times, especially in a small town. So I was looking at having at least one contract this month, but it doesn't look like it, which is a challenge. So you can see why it's important to have the top end of the funnel working heavily and pushing through. Because if you're weak at the top end, you're going to be weak at the bottom end. Settlement, I'm hoping for one next Friday. So that'll be a good month if I can get them. So that is the funnel I work on. So that is the first thing that I do in the morning. I have a look at how we're going in regards to progressing that. Then I'll have a look at my actually, I have to admit, I look for a bit of happiness in the morning. So I'll have a look at my YouTube channel, see how many subscribers I've had, see which videos are doing well, if I can get an idea for another video to work with. And I'll have a look at if there's any personal emails that I got. Sometimes, there may be something urgent. This morning, there's something from the chess club. I'm on the committee for that, so I took care of that quickly. S- There's different ways of managing your day. Some people say, "Oh, why are you working on those little fluffy things?" And that's a valid point. There's a good line of thought that you should be focusing on the important things straight off. To me, I almost work differently. I don't spend too much time on the fluffy stuff, as I call it. I'll get it out of the way so that from the hours between 8 and 10, I'm working proactively, getting control of the business, doing the things that need to be done. So, what are the things that I need to do, in this particular period? Well, we mentioned in the earlier videos that I've got three particular goals for specifically for today. One is that settlement that I'm hoping to have next Friday. I need to put an invoice in. We want to get paid. So that is my first priority this morning. So by clearing the deck, which I've pretty well already done, I can then focus on getting that invoice done. The second thing I wanted to do today, this is the plan. The plan was to do an advert for that big client who I'm hoping to sign up today. When I mentioned in my earlier video, how do you work out what is your most highest priority? It's always for me looking at where the next dollar is coming from and where do I need to push to make that happen. So the thing that's closest to making a dollar, hence the invoices are closest to making a dollar. This morning I got a listing, and that means I need to process that quickly and get on to the buyer who's looking at that property. So suddenly that is a little bit ahead of uh, doing the ad for the other client. So it's all a matter of shuffling and changing as you need to, but this is how you keep control of your day. And I'm a little bit of a control freak. Between 8 and 10, I don't get too many phone calls. Being commercial, I quite often will get them, but not in large volume because my commercial clients start work anywhere after 6 o'clock. So my business, a lot of the customer focused reactive material comes in the morning. So it's important to get the stuff out of the way quickly before that workload comes in. And after I've done the emails and had a look at that, then I'll have a look at my calendar. I'm one who does a lot of activities on my calendar. So each day I know the clients I need to contact. I pride myself on taking care of existing customers. Will never hear a client saying, "Oh, I've never heard from Peter after he listed with me," or "It's been weeks since I've heard from Peter." I will contact them every week or every 2 weeks to give them an update on what's happening with their listings. Commercial doesn't move fast. Sometimes I think the fastest sale I've had was about 2 months. And currently, the longest sale, which will be the settlement, hopefully coming on Friday, is closer to 3 years. So you need to make sure you keep taking care of those clients, keep them motivated, keep them assured that you're working hard, and let them know what the next step is. So that's what the contacts are that I do in the morning. Sometimes they're emails, sometimes they're texts, sometimes they're phone call, depending on what needs to be done. Letting clients know how your ads are going, how the conversations are going with new contacts, whether they've signed confidentiality agreements, whether we're looking at doing inspections. If nothing's happening, I'll let them know what I'm going to do this week to continue pushing their cause to get a buyer. There'll also be other activities in there, but essentially that's how I keep things proactive. I may do a few Facebook posts. Now, that'll probably be when I have a cup of tea in the morning. It's a bit of a break, bit of a change from the heavy thinking. People say social media, that's not a high return. You need to understand why you're doing things like, why am I doing YouTube? YouTube, for argument's sake, for me, is an avenue to help share with people, to help you understand what is available and to help improve. I'd appreciate if you came here looking for entertainment, but you're probably here to get some education, some tips. That's why I do the YouTube. Facebook is a little bit different. Facebook is part of my brand management. I don't get a lot of work from Facebook. I may get two or three listings in a year, in a good year. I may get some inquiries, but what it does is I hit probably about 25,000 people a month on Facebook, and they are all business and commercial minded people. So it's all about brand management. You get that constantly to them, similar to a Toyota ad on TV. They're always there. They always know. Harvey Norman's another one. Everybody knows there's a Harvey Norman ad in every group of six ads. So brand management, I don't spend a lot of time in there. Once again, it's focused on value. It's letting people know what's new, what listings are available, where they can find it, a few tips and traps. And in social media, there's a good understanding, and I think you apply to other aspects of business. They work on the concept of capture, manage, convert. So capture contacts. So that's my Facebook likes and my followers. Then you manage them. That's constantly feeding them with valid information that they're looking for, so they keep active and attached to your page, and then convert. Now, converting on Facebook is difficult for a commercial realtor. However, to be honest, one of the main reasons why I work on Facebook is my book will be coming out this year, and the people who are on Facebook will be prime candidates for buying that book. So, I've currently got over 500 people um, following, and thank you very much. If you haven't already done so, please do so as well. Same with my YouTube channel. And when that book comes out, those people will be big candidates. And look, if I can convert 10% of those people, then that'll really help a lot with the book sales to go with. Right, so that's probably that period between 8 and 10. Normally, the times when it's not normal, Tuesday mornings tends to be different. I am very blessed that my wife does the bookwork, so Tuesday morning tends to be bookwork morning. And, we'll pay the bills, we'll have a look at updating Zero, getting all our reports in place. Probably not surprising, I like to have things under control, so reporting of financials is important to me. Very important to me is the trust accounts. Trust accounts, people may not be aware of them. Um, when you give your real estate agent a deposit or even money for marketing, it goes in a trust account. I can't go and take that money and buy myself some lunch, a couple of pies and some drinks. No, it's set aside and it's protected by legislation. There's a lot of compliance in trust accounts. So Tuesday morning is very much balancing the ledgers, making sure the bills are paid accordingly out of trust accounts, and that everything's recorded against a client. So if you're giving me $1,000 for advertising, if I've paid an ad for $200, that goes in the recording. That shows you now have a balance of $800. And probably the only other thing is, like I mentioned when I do cold calling, 10 a.m. is probably the best time to be with clients. It just happens to be, particularly on a Tuesday morning, research has indicated, and my experience has indicated it's best time to do cold calling and walking around. So the times when I do cold call days, especially if I'm traveling, the morning could be totally different. I'm traveling, getting there ready to hit the road and work the territory as I need to. All right, there's plenty of info in there. So that's my plans for the day. I'll see what God's plans are, and we'll take it as we go. I will come back and give you another video from 8 to 10. So we're going to 8 to 10. Yes, I'll do something between 10 and 12. All right, take care and God bless.